want to start off by acknowledging that we're gathered here today on the traditional territories of the Ucluelet First Nation and thank them for being such gracious hosts of us. And my name is Josie Osborne. For those of you that I haven't met before, I am the MLA for Mid-Island Pacific Rim, and really pleased to be here just to say a few words to get us going before the live stream starts, and then I'll have a couple words at the end, and we can stay here and gather. And I know that lunch is here and has really graciously been donated by Ellen, so thank you, Ellen, for taking care of us this way. We're really gathered here today to be a part of history. And this is a very important and meaningful announcement for the Japanese Canadians in the Second World War. And it is very difficult for me as a newcomer to these lands and as a non-Japanese person to even begin to imagine just how painful the experiences that people have been, and in leaving homes, in leaving friends, in leaving relatives and networks. So I want to just encourage everybody in the way that people in Ucluelet and on the West Coast do to really take care of each other today as we listen to what's about to unfold. Today is really about honoring your experiences, and I'm really pleased again to be here, and I'm going to break for the live stream and listen to the words that are going to be shared with us. So.
Last summer, to see the need for that facility to be refurbished so that the story can continue to be told not here in the Lower Mainland where lives were destroyed, but in those places where lives persisted. I was invited by Paul to an Asahi event a few years ago. So I learned I'm not a baseball guy. I'm a Star Trek guy, and I'll get to George Takei in a minute. But I'm not a baseball guy, but I became an Asahi fan. And just shortly after that event, Paul will remember the Canadian moments of how important the Asahi were to the sport and to the people of British Columbia at that time. And to see the team going off to travel, a new team, a team of a different generation, it was inspiring, and I was absolutely proud to be there. And I think of those who were interned who had one case to take with them, but they managed to get their baseball glove into that bag, perhaps leaving something more. I am a Star Trek fan, and he was filming here in British Columbia in Steveston, and it was a film called, or a series called The Terror, but it was founded on the internment of Japanese Americans.
So just a couple of closing remarks, and then we do get to go outside and still be together. I want to thank you again for coming today and being part of this historic announcement, and we are all witnesses to this, and the act of witnessing is such an important thing to do, because as I have learned over the past years in the work that I've been lucky enough to do with the Japanese Canadian community, it is not just enough, and as the Premier and so many other speakers said, it is not just enough to commemorate, to address through financial grants, but to
Silicon Valley in California.
to go to Silicon Valley. But really it is about remembering and ensuring that things like this never happen again. And so with apologies, with redress, with memorials, with curriculum, it is all of our responsibility to do this. And so I would also really like to thank the District of Ucluelet for hosting us today in this beautiful facility, and for Frank for your technical wizardry, which is amazing that this pulled together in 24 hours. Ellen for helping us with lunch, and Phil. Go ahead, please.
Could I just say just a few words?
Yeah.
In the room that you're in right now, there are 3 survivors. Myself, Susie, and most of all, my respected Aunt Mary. Aunt Mary was in Kelowna. I was born in Tofino, 1 week after Pearl Harbor. And Susie, I don't know where you were. Greenwood. Okay. So if you'd like to speak to us, I'm sure we'd be happy to answer any questions and tell you about what happened to us. But I want to thank Josie and the government of British Columbia for making this all happen. About a month ago, I received a check in the post office in my box from the government of British Columbia, $750. So I spent half of it today for lunch. I want you to go out into the foyer and enjoy
Thank you.
the lunch.
It's on board.
And if you have any questions, thanks, Teddy.
What are you doing with the rest of
If you
it?
have any questions, I'll be around.
Did
Okay?
somebody ask you what you're doing with the rest of the money?
Oh, and it won't be Japanese style, men first. No. Everybody together,
Well, if we're
having
gonna
a
do
good
it,
time. And Josie, thank you, and thank Premier Horgan, and especially Paul.
Would you like to say thank you to Premier Horgan? I will take a
Tradition.
little video.
Oh, no,
Or
no,
you
no,
can,
no.
you can. How about this? How about just a photograph?
Okay.
A big wave, and
No, I was
I'll show it to
one
Rashna.
more thing I
Okay.
want to say is to thank Paul. Paul is in Langley at his home suffering from COVID. Otherwise, he would have been here, and it would have been wonderful because Paul has been an active person in the community way back to the Mel Rooney's time. Paul was on that committee in 1988. And Paul grew up here in Ucluelet. I taught him. He was in grade 7. I was his phys ed teacher.
Okay.
No, Bruce is just coming.
Oh, Bruce is coming.